Alrighty, so this has been a video that I've been wanting to do for a relatively long time, ever since the third kits from all these MLS teams that have released as part of the archive collection of 2025 had released, and that of course is do a ranking out of these 10 third kits from the archive collection in 2025. Now, just a footnote, I'm not going to include Inter Miami in terms of their third kit. I know Inter Miami have also released their blue third kit, which looks kind of very similar to the one that they released last year, except the difference is this time is blue. And I'm also not going to mention too much about the RSL and Toronto third kit that there's rumors that they're going to be releasing that as well. But that's not, of course, part of the archive collection as well. This is just based on these 10 teams that decided to kind of go with a little bit of a retro classic kind of jersey. And for most of these teams, kind of pay homage to their past soccer jerseys that they used to wear, or for some team pay homage to some of the soccer team that used to play in the area that they are back in the 70s, the 80s, and even in the 90s as well. But with that being said, let us begin at number 10, and I'm gonna put Nashville at number 10. So let me just show you how the Nashville kit looks like, because throughout this video I'll definitely show you guys how each of these kit looks like, and I'm also hoping that when I do this, the camera will refocus itself, which the good news is it looks like it did. And yeah, for Nashville, they rank at the bottom. I mean, I always kind of find it interesting, but at the same time, kind of found it weird the fact that some of these new expansion side decided to release a third kit that pay homage to some of the teams that they used to be, or at least try to go retro classic with the kid. And in the case of Nashville, I think they're the only team that I can't really recall what exactly they're trying to pay homage to. All these teams at least have some sort of homage in terms of whether it's the some of these teams that of course been in the league since '96 want to pay homage to the jerseys that they used to wear back in the late '90s as well. And then there are also some teams that pay homage to some of the other team around the area that play in the different leagues like the NASL. That is, but for Nashville, I can't really find one, and I'm not surprised that is the case, because Nashville hasn't really had a lot of soccer history in terms of that, and that again, they try to make this looks very retro. I mean, I guess the wording here, as you can kind of see, it maybe kind of looks like it's retro, though I have heard some people say that it doesn't really look like it is that retro. And then the other thing that I also don't like about this jersey, it looked predominantly white in terms of this jersey. You already know my opinions in terms of white jerseys as well. I don't even care if it's kind of like a cream looking kind of jersey. Whenever it's like a white jersey, that is, yeah, it's not a great one whatsoever. And there's a lot of fans have already complained about Adidas releasing white jerseys for their respective team, and especially fans paying upwards of around $150 to buy virtually a white shirt that Adidas released, and that just another example of lazy designing on Adidas part. And this is kind of similar to that. Again, it's not completely white, but just that cream kind of look, especially with them trying to go a little retro style on that. I just think that it didn't really hit the mark in my opinion, and probably the worst out of the all the third kit from the archive collection that we have, that all these MLS team have released. Now, at number 9, I'm gonna say Charlotte. So let me show you Charlotte in terms of their third kit. I'm gonna have to cycle through on this league website. This is based on the league website, that is. So this, of course, is the third kit that they wear. And again, I penalize Charlotte in terms of putting them very low on the list, is because they only just entered the league a couple years ago. I always find it weird seeing teams decided to a retro kit when they just were founded a couple of years ago. And for Charlotte, at least the difference with Nashville, at least Charlotte did pay homage to a soccer team from the past as well. They actually pay homage to the Carolina Lightning that used to play in the '80s in the American Soccer League. And the way that the jersey looks and the design of it is very similar to the Carolina Lightning, so I'll definitely give them points for that. But one thing I just don't like is just the color itself. It doesn't really not scream Charlotte to me. And if you remove the wording here, if you remove the Charlotte wording there, you would have said that this is like a Sounders jersey. I mean, the way that they go with a green kind of blue kind of jersey. That's kind of the color that the Sounders usually wear for their jerseys. So yeah, it doesn't really match Charlotte in my opinion. Though I do like the wording itself, especially the wording Charlotte. It is very similar to the one that the Carolina Lightning has when it comes to the wording and also the stripes as well. Now, looking at number 8, I'm gonna say New England. So New England is actually the lowest team out of the list that were founded all the way back in 1996, and a team that, of course, were one of the charter team in MLS. A lot of charter team basically released their throwback jersey in this archive collection. Makes perfect sense. That is. Let me just cycle through. Yep. This is exactly how it looks like in terms of the New England Revolution retro kit. And again, a big reason why I put them really low is simply because they didn't put the Corolla flag. The fact that they did not put the Corolla flag on there, and the fact that I mean, yes, it has the Revolution in the front, and it also has the '96 in the front as well, which that could also be a little confusing because every people would think that, oh, is that the jersey number, or is it just pay homage in terms of them finding found all the way back in 1996. I mean, everything else, it does look a little bit retro, but again, the fact that there's no Corolla flag on there. The Corolla flag, say what you say about it, it is kind of sad that it's no longer a thing. I mean, the rebrand that they did, it's not the best, but it's not the worst in my opinion. And I feel like if they are gonna go a little retro, they have to put the Corolla flag. If this Corolla flag was on there, I would have ranked them much higher, maybe even in the top 5 as well. But because of the fact that there's no Corolla flag, and that just kind of really annoys me in terms of this being a heritage kit. And in many ways, it just does not feel like a heritage kit if you are not going to put the classic Corolla flag on the Revolution heritage jersey. Now, looking at number 7, I'm gonna say Columbus at number 7. So let me show you Columbus in terms of their jersey. And by the way, I'm also wearing a Seattle Sounders tie-dye orchid jersey, and or well, it's not really an orchid jersey, but it's more like a T-shirt that is, and I'll explain why exactly I'm wearing this because it has a little bit relate to what the Seattle Sounders released for their retro kit. But yeah, let me show you Columbus, which for some reason I can't really find it here. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so yeah, this is the Columbus crew in terms of their retro kit. And again, the good thing at least Columbus did compared to what New England didn't do is that at least Columbus went with the old logo. I really love the old logo with the three guys with the hat as well. That's a very classic Columbus crew kind of logo that I really miss. I mean, that logo is infinitely better than the current one that they of course had, and the current one that they have right now, I think that's like the third rebrand that they of course have gone in their existence. But nothing beats the original. The original is just an absolute classic, and the reason why I did knock them down relatively low is that unlike where New England, they did pretty well at least when it comes to designing how their 1996 jersey looks like, but they forgot the Corolla flag. Here it's kind of the opposite. It's just that Columbus did a good job in terms of including their old logo. They didn't really do a good job in terms of designing their retro kind of look. It feels like it's a very boring look itself, especially there's not enough bumblebee stripe. Like a Columbus Crew retro jersey always have like a bumblebee stripe. And then if they are gonna go with the 1996 jersey that they have, which I think that's kind of what they said, I mean, the 1996 one, it was kind of more like a diagonal line rather than the one that is kind of straight like this. So yeah, because of that, it just kind of feels like it's kind of a bit of a boring design, and it actually makes a bit different as well. I mean, I know some people might think, well, what's the big deal in terms of making it just straight than it being just a diagonal line? I feel like the diagonal will just make it even more retro than what do you have here, where it just kind of feels like it's almost like a modern design of the old Columbus Crew jersey. And there's nothing wrong with some of these teams try to do that, but the execution is definitely a little bit off as a result. And as I expected, looks like part of the the board is a little bit fogged it because of me just kind of moving this back and forth and back and forth. So yeah, I do apologize if you can't read it relatively well as I go through this list. But anyway, looking at number six, we go with Colorado. So the Colorado Rapids, they actually gone with a jersey that is similar to the one that they wear in the early 2000s. And that, of course, is the green jersey that is. And I know some people will say that this looks like a very boring jersey as well. Just a green jersey with the old Colorado Rapids logo and also the old logo itself in terms of it. But well, actually, the one that is a circle, that's the alternative badge. The one that is kind of where the jersey sponsor is. That's actually their primary logo. But I actually rank this pretty high, mainly because I do like the classic look in terms of the Rapids jersey. I mean, yes, it does look maybe a little bland, the fact that it's just a green jersey. But for me, as a person that likes the color green, it makes perfect sense. And that again, I like the fact that they stay true to their old jersey and kind of decide to do a little bit of a modern take. I know it's tempting for them to maybe make it a little bit fancy and maybe make it a little bit dazzle, but that's something that sometimes you don't really need to do, especially with the old Colorado Rapids jersey that they're trying to pay homage. So yeah, overall, I really like this jersey and the logo itself. I feel like this logo is very underrated. This is probably one of my favorite logo in my opinion. Especially, I love the not just the mountain that is, but also the water there below. Similar to how I see what the Whitecaps do with the water mark that they have in some of their alternative logo. Now, moving on to number five. Let's say DC. So for DC, they're right at the middle pack, and this is kind of where it started to get to a point where it's really started to be hard for me to rank some of this. Most of the heritage collection and most of the archive collection that MLS team have released for the third kit, or at least Adidas that is that released it, they did a really good job in terms of releasing it. And this is where it gets really hard to rank some of them, but I'm gonna put DC at third place, or not third place, I'm sorry, fifth place. That is right in the middle of the pack. And this, of course, is how it looks like. And the reason why I mentioned the word third is because I'm thinking of the free stripes. That is a very classic DC look. That just kind of resemble the early dynasty era with DC United when you see the free stripe that is. And also, I do love the alternative logo that is that's the Screaming Eagle logo that is in all red. Looks really nice. I mean, I will say that it does look kind of a little bit bland. You would say, especially with the way that it is kind of like a white jersey with just free stripes on it. But I think the free stripe really carry the weight in terms of this jersey because that's just kind of what resembled DC United what was doing their dynasty era and also the logo itself, that red screaming eagle logo, also one of my favorite alternative logo that DC United used. Now we get to number four, and at number four, we go with Minnesota. So originally, when I see this, the one that the Loons, of course, released, which is a pay homage to the Minnesota Kicks back in the 70s. Originally, I actually didn't like it. I mean, when I first look at it, it just looks like a very sporting KC kind of jersey with the diamond itself. But the more I look at it, and especially once it's released, I actually do like it, and the fact that the thing that what makes me really like it is that it is a teal color jersey. Teal is another color that I really like, and the diamond itself. Yes, I know it does kind of look like a little bit of a Sporting KC jersey that they used to do with that kind of diamond design, but it does have that heritage kind of look, and that's what you want to do when it comes to making a heritage kit, and not to mention the war mark itself, the Loons war mark that you see there. It's the same style as the Minnesota uh, has back in the 70s, and then of course, and on top of that, we already talked about Minnesota United probably having one of the best, if not the best, logo in MLS. But the alternative logo, just the Loons itself, that absolutely is right up there in terms of right now the best alternative logo that an MLS team has right now. So overall, I really like it. I definitely are thinking about buying it. I also like the V in the middle as well. Like anytime when you have like a V like that, it does give like a little bit of a retro look as well. Now we get into the top three. Now getting into the podium spot. And at number three, it's FC Dallas. So for Dallas, they decided to go with the Dallas Burn kit, and I knew this was coming. I knew that they were going to bring back the iconic Dallas Burn kit that you see right here. I mean, for years they have done a homage to the Dallas Burn kit. I know a couple of years they did something similar to that with part of the kit being a look has that flamey kind of look, which kind of resembling the Dallas Burn kit. But this is really absolutely executed to its perfection. I mean, this is exactly almost similar to what the Dallas Burns used to wear. It has the classic hoops kind of looks that Dallas fans have always loved when it comes to the jersey itself. It has also the the primary color as well, and then not to mention the logo itself, the horse that is breathing fire. That is also an iconic logo. That is also going to go down as one of the best logo and one of the best retro logo that an MLS team used to use. There's a lot of great MLS logo back in the 90s. It's such a shame the fact that as now times have gone modern, these logos have started to kind of become a little bit too boring, especially some of these recent rebrand that has just feels very bland compared to some of these. Like these are kind of the logos that you just don't see it now days. No, I wish that MLS team would have these kind of creativity instead of just going with their usual boring circle kind of logo that we usually see nowadays. But overall, what a beautiful kid, one that I'm definitely might be thinking about getting it as well. I mean, I don't really have a lot of money in terms of trying to get as much of these third kits as possible, but this is definitely one that could definitely be on my wish list. Now, at number two, it's gonna be Seattle. So as I mentioned before, I'm wearing this because this, of course, is the tie dye shirt with the Orca, and indeed they decided to go with the Orca jersey. So there you go. This is how it looks. And I honestly, when I saw this a couple of years when I bought this from Fanatics, I instantly bought it because I really love the Orca jersey. I think that is one that compared to the current logo that the Sounders has had. I mean, the Orca logo just kind of blow that out of the water. And that another thing that I also think the Sounders fans been asking is that they really hope that the Orca logo will at least be part of the jersey, and it was kind of part of the jersey in the new kit that they of course are wearing. But this is really one where they actually brought the Orca logo in its center, as you can see right here on the bottom right. That of course is the Orca logo that is, and of course this is also a pay homage to the Seattle Sounders. I think they wear this when they were playing in the A League, which also is known as the USL Championship nowadays. But overall, just a really classic sick look for the Sounders. Also love the color itself. That purple and green kind of color. A little homage to the old Sounders that we see before they came to MLS. But again, I can't tell you how much I was thrilled to see the Orca logo. I'm pretty sure Sounders fans are probably the same thing when they saw that the Orca logo was being there, because in my opinion that should be something that should be on every single Seattle Sounders jersey. Forget about the boring rebrand that they of course try to do recently. At least put the Orca logo somewhere on the jersey, and it's good that they did it, especially on the primary front. And then last but not least, and this might be biased because I am a Quakes fan, but honestly, this jersey is absolutely fine. I mean, this jersey just kind of resembling everything that a retro kit looks like. And I know I have a San Jose Clash retro low t-shirt as well. Well, it's kind of I wouldn't say it's like a little t-shirt. It's more like a sweatshirt that I have that I got it from a couple of years ago. But this one I think it just kind of hits it to the next level. I mean, the color itself screams very 90s as well, and especially I don't mind if the Quakes decided to do more class jersey. It's kind of amazing that the Quakes does a much better job when it comes to decided to pay homage to the Clash in terms of designing the Clash jersey compared to when they decided to redesign the 1974 jersey. I mean, I remember last year they did that in terms of being the 50th anniversary of the team, and they really didn't do a good job. in terms of. I mean, they did bought back the original logo, but everything else just looked really bland as a resort. This is definitely not that. I mean, this is everything that I was hoping that 1974 jersey was going to look like. At least trying to pay homage to that, and that yeah, overall just an absolute amazing kid. One that just completely hit it out of the ballpark, and one that in the next Quake game, I'm definitely gonna go to the team store to grab this because yeah, this just looks absolutely amazing. It is something now, I would even say this is probably even better than the San Jose Clash kind of sweatshirt that I currently have in my jersey collection. But there you have it. That is pretty much it. Looking at all of the MLS third kit from the archive collection that was released a couple of weeks ago, and because this is a rankings, I know there's going to be some disagreement in the comment section, but it's okay. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree on this list? And I'm pretty sure there's going to be people that might think that I put some teams a little bit too low and might have put some team a little bit too high. But again, at the end of the day, this is my opinion in terms of looking at all these 10 teams in terms of releasing from the archive collection. And there's no doubt that I'm definitely going to be thinking about getting a couple of these as well. Rip my wallet, by the way, as well. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.